858-988-40 Financial Issues, AFR Talk. I'm Dan Celia. The Fannie and Freddie Mac just announced that they will no longer be allowed, or able, it says, but it's really allowed, to buy interest-only loans with a 40-year term. So they won't be doing that, which means that you're not going to be able to get those loans, because if Fannie and Freddie's not buying them, it's not likely that anybody in the private sector is going to buy them. I'm not sure why anybody would want that kind of loan, but there was a lot of people that had those loans. Now, the reason that that is significant, the only reason I mention it, is because it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, because guess who's going to buy them? Good old brother Ben Bernanke will buy the loans. He's been buying mortgage-backed securities. He's going to continue to buy mortgage-backed securities. So it's irrelevant, because the Fed's going to take care of that. The Fed. Let me see. Are they? So part of their mandate is to be in the securities business, right? And the mortgage business. Is that must be part of? So they have this. You know, they've got to control our monetary system, right? That's what they do. That's why they were established in 1913, to control our monetary system. They call the shots. If you're a bank, you need money, you want to lend some money, you got to get some money, you got to borrow some money, you got to go to the Fed. That's what the Fed does. They have a mandate that is established by Congress. The mandate is unemployment and inflation. Now, somewhere along the line, I guess, maybe it was way back in 1913, when they were established, tucked away is they have a mandate to make sure they put billions of dollars every day, by the way, into the stock market. Or they have a mandate to have this huge inflated $4 trillion balance sheet of government debt. Maybe they have a mandate to get in the mortgage business. Maybe that's in there. I don't know. Of course, yes, the Federal Reserve, private institution established by Congress in 1913. Congress has how much control over the Fed? Zippo. Nothing. They have no control over the Federal Reserve. Did they? I don't know. I wasn't around in 1913. Sometimes I feel like I was, but I was not around in 1913. But if I'm not mistaken, they pretty much had some very strong accountability through 1970 anyway. Things went a little amok when we went off the gold standard, 71, but nevertheless, there were some controls and accountability. That's out the door now. Congress, so could Congress dissolve it? I don't know. They established it. I doubt it, because the central banks are running the global markets right now. They are the global markets. Central bankers around the world. G7, 7 of the strongest, the biggest central bankers in the world are meeting this weekend. There's 7 of the most powerful people in the world, not some of, the most powerful people in the world. Ben Bernanke quickly becoming the most powerful person in the world. Let me go to Debbie in Virginia. Hey, Debbie.
Earlier today, you were talking about encouraging people to go ahead and buy their homes because interest rates are so low right now. Mm-hmm. And we have our home. We've got about 2 more years before we pay it off. Mm-hmm. But we'd like to do some improvements. Mm-hmm. And my question is, do you think we ought to just go ahead and pay off the house and look for another way to get the resources to pay for the improvements, or refinance?
I would not refinance, Debbie. I was speaking primarily to first-time home buyers. You guys have obviously worked very hard over the years to get that mortgage paid down, and to be that close to there's a certain amount of financial freedom, obviously, that is going to come as a result of that mortgage being paid down. But there's also a fair amount of economic stability that's going to come to your family as a result of that. I would not like you to refinance. Now, I might not be opposed, and again, depending on your circumstances, are you how near are you to retirement?
Well, that's the other question. He is my husband's looking forward to considering retirement as soon as the house is paid off. He's 60.
Okay. Yeah, I would not want to see you taking on debt. What I would hope is that you would be able to do some of the improvements that are necessary for the home out of your additional cash flow that you're now going to have as a result. Now, is it going to take you longer to do it? Yes. Is it going to be a bit harder because you may have to do certain things in stages? Yes, it is. There's no doubt about it. But, I know that I've done things in my house where I've sacrificed parking in my garage so I could store things little by little that I was able to buy to get ready for an improvement project and stored in the garage till everything I needed was there, and then we went ahead and did it. Now, maybe that's extreme, I don't know, but it was far better than me taking out a mortgage or a loan or a second mortgage or whatever the situation. In my case, it would have been a loan against the house of some sort. And I would suggest that you take that route. You will be far happier in the long run, even though it's a little bit harder to do, a little bit more cumbersome because you can't do it all at once. You'll be far happier that you've done it that way. And that's what I would suggest and like to see you do.
Well, thank you so much for your advice. I think you and my husband are on the same line there. That's exactly what he would like to do.
Well, good for him. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. Appreciate your advice.
Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate it. God bless you. Let me go to George.